As the return of Sky Bet Championship action edges ever closer, of course, we're at home to Sunderland on Saturday before facing Swansea at Loftus Road and then heading to Birmingham City on Friday night. As always, on the Rangers Report, me and Andy Sinton sit down and discuss the upcoming games as well as hearing from head coach Gareth Ainsworth. This is the Rangers Report. Since we're here back at Heston and the clash with Sunderland is now a little bit closer towards us, how's your international break been, first of all?
It was nice to have the weekend off, no stress. Yeah, nice in a way, but miss it. Like every fan, you miss your Saturday fix, you miss your QPR fix, but can't wait for Saturday. We're back. Hopefully the international lads will return fit and well and we can pick up where we left off.
We will look at the Championship as a whole and what have we made of the start so far, but Sunderland are the opponents at Loftus Road on Saturday. What's your initial take been on them?
Well, they're a good side. They come on the back of a really impressive victory against Southampton, 5-0, 4-0 up at half-time. Sort of blew them away, really. Have some really good players in attacking areas. Super manager, Tony Mowbray, just missed out on the playoffs last year. Made a steady start, but I think with what they've got in their locker armoury, they'll have another good season.
And as you mentioned, in the international break, there's been a few dusting of QPR players across the world. Sinclair Armstrong being obviously the standout as he made his debut for the Republic of Ireland. It's been quite an impressive few weeks for us, isn't it? Yeah,
it's good that players like young Sinclair get their recognition that his early season form's warranted. I think he's really, really improving all aspects of his game. Morgan Fox got called up. I've just mentioned them too. I know there's others, but it's always great. I think it's good representation of the club when players get called up. But hopefully, the most important thing, hopefully they all come back safe, fit, and ready to help us push on.
And pushing on, that's exactly what we'll have to do with a busy week, kicking things straight off, isn't it? Sunderland at home, Swansea Tuesday night, and then up to Birmingham for the Friday night.
Yeah, really hectic. The games come thick and fast. Certainly the game against Birmingham being moved to the Friday night, even condenses it more. So, three tough games, 3 games to really look forward to. Let's see what we get from them. Is
that the sort of week that a footballer relishes, though, isn't it? That challenge.
I think you speak to any player, and I'm the same. I'd rather play than train. I think you like the games, but when they're so close together, you don't get the recovery time. There's travel involved as well up to Birmingham, etc., etc. So it's a case of just managing the loads, managing how players feel after the game, the recovery days, etc., etc. But no, I used to love a busy week. Bring it on.
So if we take a look at the Championship as a whole, we're 5 games in. It's very easy to look at the league table, but all that sort of does is just show you who's had a good start, who necessarily hasn't had a good start, doesn't it? It doesn't overall shape the league as it's going to finish.
I totally agree. Again, putting my playing side on, and when I was in management, I never really took much notice of the league table until about 10 games in. I think after 10 games, you start to get a real feel of runners and riders where people might be. There's always someone that bucks the trend. You look at Middlesbrough. Last year under Chris Wilder, started really poor. Michael comes in and they go like a train. I think Sheffield United the year before did pretty much. Notts Forest the year they got promoted started really sluggishly and came really strong. So but I just think after 10 games you start to get a feel of where you might be.
And who at the moment are we looking at? Who has even caught your eye? Who's impressed? Who hasn't impressed?
Well, I think you look at the top 2. Preston, I think of what they got, 4 wins and a draw. I wouldn't say they're surprise package because under Ryan Lowe, I think they're always, as we found out over recent seasons, they're always tough to play against. So they've done really, really well. Ipswich, we've played. I still think they're on the back of, that momentum from promotion, but they're a good side and they came to us and we probably should have got something from the game, but didn't. But they're up there. Hull have started well, but I felt they were gaining momentum when Liam took over last season. And Birmingham probably a surprise package, which I know we're going to talk about Birmingham in a while, but there's teams up there that'll be up there at the end. Leicester, what are they, sitting third at the moment?
How difficult is it for a Leicester coming down from the Premier League? It's not an easy task, is it, to go straight back up?
Because everyone tips you to go straight back up. You're the big scalp. Everyone wants to beat you. If you look at their squad, it's pretty much still a Premier League squad. They're basically there to be shot at, and this league, it's so tough. I think it's probably the hardest league, second-tier league in world football, I believe, to get out of. There's probably, if you go through the league table, it's probably 12, 13, 14 teams thinking they've got a chance of getting up. Teams will think they can get in the playoffs, etc., etc. And as we've seen time and time again, if you're not at it in the Championship, every time you play, Tuesday, Saturday, Friday, whenever the games may come, if you're not at it, you get beat.
How important is a winning mentality and to get that straight away? We're seeing Ipswich, they've come up from League One, we've already played them, and we saw they'd come away from that game, not their best ever game they've ever played, but got the win because of that confidence that they're breeding, aren't they?
Yeah, you make a great point. Winning is a great habit to get into. Sometimes when you're on that crest of a wave, you win games where you probably haven't been at your best, but good teams find a way. So they've come up, got a terrific manager, got some really good players. So they're going well. But yeah, you can't replace winning, And if you can string 3 or 4 wins together, that takes you wherever you might be in the table to a really good position, and vice versa. If you lose 3 in a row, you can find yourselves down amongst where you don't want to be.
And we played them a couple of weeks ago, Middlesbrough. There was a big expectation going into this year after what was a good end to the last season, and they've not quite hit the heights that they wanted to.
Yeah, and we saw that up there. They had a few chances on the day. I think we spoke last time we were here. Asmir making 3 or 4 really good saves, but we played well on the day. But yeah, Middlesbrough, listen, they're a quality side. It won't take them long. It's just a matter of, I don't think it's if, it's when they get going. And I think Michael Carrick, he, as a player, never panicked. I'm sure he'll not panic as a manager. But yeah, they'll need to start winning games sooner rather than later as well. But yeah, they've been a little bit surprising, but I've got no doubts that Middlesbrough will start climbing that table very, very soon.
We kick things back off with a home clash, 3 o'clock kickoff at Loftus Road. Is that what every QPR fan loves and enjoys, isn't it, about coming to football?
Well, I love Loftus Road. It's there's going to be a terrific atmosphere. Sunderland, magnificent following. I'm sure they'll pack the away end. So it's going to be nice. Let's face it. Seems a while since we've been there. I think, and certainly just the one game this season against Ipswich, but that was a month ago. So it'll be great to get back there, play in front of our fans. And you're a fan. You must love Loftus Road. I know you're working on the day, but Loftus Road, that's where you...
I still have my routines and still do the same things that I've been doing for years. Walk the same way outside of White City Station up into the stand, even though now I'm obviously in a working capacity and all my family will be there like always. And then we sit and have a few beers afterwards, and whether we're celebrating the result or moaning about it doesn't change. Well, routines never change and all that.
Well, let's hope your family are celebrating on Saturday. But no, you mentioned Loftus Road. Great stadium, packed house, and let's hope we can build on that, really improved recent performances and an excellent, outstanding win up in Middlesbrough last time we played.
But Sunderland be no mean feat, as you mentioned briefly earlier. They're going into this one full of confidence. The 5-0 win over Southampton will get anyone sort of pumped up for their next game.
Yeah, I've already said they've got some really talented players in forward positions. On any given day, they can hurt you, as they did at Southampton. Sort of blew them away. So yeah, we'll need to be right on our game. But I think it's a great game for us to look forward to, coming on the back of as I say, the improved performances in the last month or so, and the excellent win at Middlesbrough. Can we build on that?
And off the field, QPR legend will be back in attendance on the game. Rodney Marsh will be in the Forever Ours bar before kick-off to do a Q&A, and then he'll be on the pitch speaking to Paul, doing a Q&A then as well. It's always nice to see someone Rodney's status back at QPR.
Fantastic, to have Rodney. Rodney's based overseas, so for us to get him while he's back here in the short window that he's here is brilliant. Sometimes I think the word legend, whether you're talking about past or present players, is used probably a little bit loosely or too much. But Rodney, if you put him in QPR, is an absolute QPR legend. You look at the career that he had here. Part of that 66-67 Cup final team where come from 2-0 behind against West Brom. Roger Morgan gets the first, Rodney gets the second, Mark Lazarus gets the winner. 2 successive promotions. Rodney represents his country, 44 goals in a season, which is still a club record and is phenomenal. So an absolute legend, and certainly the way he played the game, that flamboyant, entertaining style. And it'll be great to have Rodney back, and he'll get a brilliant reception on Saturday.
And I'm sure there's a generation of QPR fans that Rodney Marsh was the pinnacle of QPR and the reason they support.
Yeah, people tell me, various other people, but Rodney was one of the ones that really put the club on the map in that 60s, just the way he played and what he did. Bearing in mind, he played in a really good team, and it wasn't just a one-man team, but Rodney was very much the star attraction, if that's the right way to say. And it'll be great to have him back. I look forward to seeing him and chatting to him and speaking to him over many, many things, finding out what he's up to. But as I say, he's back, and can't wait to see him.
Obviously, as always, we caught up with head coach Gareth Ainsworth, who looked ahead to the clash with Sunderland. So let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you, boys, for giving us that nice send-off for the 2 weeks. I thought they were sensational against Middlesbrough, and the fans, absolutely brilliant. And as the manager, that doesn't make a season, that result. We've got to work hard, and we have been working hard. I think we covered about 2/3 of the globe with our internationals, which was great. But the boys who stayed here were training. We made sure that we kept backing up what we've been doing. The performances, the emptying the tank on the pitch, and it's really sort of a cohesive unit now. The boys have been great. Boys playing for their countries, I can't think of a greater honour, They're all sort of coming back within 5 or 6 hours of each other. But all of them are walking, nobody's on crutches, nobody's not made it in. They're all back in the building. And like you said, Lyndon has got through his minutes, which is great to see because he's a hell of a player for us. We're working hard to try and get Steve back in the team, back on the pitch. I think he made a huge difference, when he walked in the door and his first game being a win at Cardiff. I'm hoping that in these next 3, the same intensity, the same, optimism that we can win these games, and also being at home for a couple of them. So it's been a month, almost. So it's almost like it's coming home to mum and dad and showing them what you can do now, how much better you've got. That's what I want the boys to be like. When that place gets rocking, it's the best place in the world to play. Believe me, I've done it. I know. Please get behind the boys and give them all you got, because they're going to be giving you all they've got. Tony Mowbray's a good guy. Yeah, really well liked in football. I like him. He's a top guy, and I've had a few chats with him and phone calls and in the past. So we're really looking forward to welcoming them. But I want the points. I want to win this game, and I've got a squad I believe will run through a brick wall and believe they can win any single game in this league. Staying solid is going to be really important. I say Sunderland are scoring goals for fun in their last game, and we need to make sure we keep that to a minimum, because we've got players who can go forward and score goals. And I want to give credit to the boys who the rumours were flying around. They've been brilliant. They've kept their heads. They've committed to QPR, and that's fantastic. The fans have just been awesome. They are connecting with these players like they haven't done for a long time, and they're understanding of these players. And I now think that the intelligent bunch that QPR fans are seeing what they're trying to do on the pitch, how we're trying to play. And when I used to play down that side in front of the R block there in the loft, it was just sensational. And you feel 10 feet tall. So the fans can make a difference, but the players must give everything. I'll make sure of that. Let's have a two-way thing, and hopefully we can get some good results.
And obviously, because of the busy week, unfortunately there won't be a Rangers report next week, but we have Swansea on Tuesday, Birmingham Friday. Should we look at the Swans coming to W12 on Tuesday night as well? They obviously go into the weekend. They're playing Cardiff in the Welsh derby. Massive game for them, and that can almost kickstart their season because they haven't quite hit the heights again that they would have expected.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a slow start, but they've I was looking at their results. I think they've lost 3, but it's just been by the odd goal. So they're in every game. They're competitive. Lost a couple of key players, changed the manager, so a little bit of upheaval during the summer. So they're probably still jostling or trying to find their rhythm and form, if you like. But yeah, another tough game for us to overcome. Let's hope we go into the Swansea game on the back of a really good performance and a positive result on after Saturday, and we see what we get. But again, I'll say it again, every game in the Championship, it's tough.
I know we said it about 3 o'clock at Loftus Road, but a Tuesday night under the lights at Loftus Road, something special about when the floodlights are on, isn't there?
I think back to the play. I used to love Loftus Road when the lights are on and there's a good atmosphere. So yeah, we're back there. Fans have been absolutely superb, home and away. I know we haven't played too many games at home, but in recent times, I think our support has been remarkable. And I thank all our fans for that, because you should never take that for granted. But see what we get Saturday. But Tuesday night, under the lights, get the Loftus Road, get behind the team. Come on, you ass.
I seem to remember Arsenal under the lights, and Andy Sinton caught the headlines with a goal from the edge of the box. So, yeah.
Thanks, Simon. You've teed that out nicely. Now that was, that's probably one of my most memorable games at QPR because of that reason. I think Arsenal in the Cup, under the lights, lashed down with rain all night. Really good game of football. Kenny Sanson scored the first against his old club. One of those ironies that football can throw up from time to time. And I managed to kill the game in the dying minutes late on. But I think the announcer was with 20,000. The place was rocking. So yeah, terrific atmosphere. Let's hope we can sort of reproduce something like that in not only Tuesday, but in games to come and over the next few years. We
then tee it up for the trip to Birmingham. Your neck of the woods, isn't it now, Andy?
Yeah, got a lot of friends who support Birmingham. It's fair to say they've been really down in the dumps the last few years, but this season, different things happening. New ownership. There's a feel-good factor. They've started really well under John. He's done a really good job there. So yeah, that'll be another tough game. St Andrews can be. I think it's been quiet the last few years we've been, and I've just alluded to. I think it'll be a good atmosphere up there. And let's face it, we went there last year and got beaten. That's when it sort of went downhill from that moment onwards, which wasn't very pleasant. But now another tough game against a team who probably surprised a few, but they've had a really good summer of recruitment, recruited some good players, and not really a surprise to me that they're doing as well as they are.
They've got that new ownership completion as well that happened in the summer. How can that rejuvenate a club that we can't deny that Birmingham are quite a big club, big support, good fan base, but how an ownership and a new ownership can just give a lift?
Well, I think it just gives everyone clarity and direction of where they're going and how they're going to get there. I think there's nothing worse than when you're just drifting around, swilling around, not knowing what's happening to your club, what you're going to get, etc., etc. So I think that's what's given them. And I've already said, I speak to people, their mood has completely changed from what it was certainly last season and the season's gone by. So we got to be ready for that. I'm sure we will be. We just got to keep building, look after ourselves, really. It's not about them, it's about us.
You mentioned that confidence. I'm now going to bring it back to Birmingham, but they've, in the last couple of home games, they've not necessarily hit the heights that they wanted to, but Jay Stansfield, who they've signed in the summer, scored a late goal against Plymouth, which I'm sure the Plymouth fans, with his Exeter connections, weren't too pleased about. and then the last time out, again, he scored. Does that show the confidence that they have, the never die sort of attitude that you'd always want from them?
Well, I think they'll always keep going right at the end. I think sometimes teams can reflect the fan base, and those fans up there will demand that they have a right go for, just like every team, really.
That's their anthem as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keep right on.
So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. But you mentioned them winning games when they're not quite at their best. I think that's a really good thing to have. Really good thing to have, because I think that shows a sign of a good team that can dig in. You're not going to have it all your own way in any game that you play. You're going to have to go through periods within games. You're going to have to go through patches in the season where for any given reason it's not quite happening for you. that's a time where you dig in, you roll your sleeves up, and you find a way. And they've done that, so credit to them.
But as you say, it's not all about Birmingham, Sunderland, Swansea. It's about QPR, and it's about us going and showing the performances that we've shown in recent weeks.
Yeah, we keep coming back since the first game of the season. We've readjusted, we've almost reset, and that's credit to Gareth, his staff, and the players, and the guys behind the scenes because of the signings we've made. Performances have definitely been on an upward curve, and I felt it was really important that we got a win at Middlesbrough to back up the performance, because sometimes when you're playing quite well and you're losing games, it can be a little bit disheartening. But that's why the win at Middlesbrough was so important. And as I said, and I'll say it again, we need to build on that. I know we've had a little break, really good up at Middlesbrough. Let's take that into Saturday. Let's crack on.
What's your predictions for the upcoming week? How many points would you like us to have?
Well, I'd love us to have 9. What we're going to get? Yeah, there's no reason why we can't get positive results in all the games. Read into that what you want, but yeah, if we're at it, we'll be competitive. Can we take our chances when they appear? Can we defend a couple of situations a little bit better? If you get all those things right, you'll win games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a positive week.
And you'll be live on QPR Plus Pass alongside Nick London as always. Obviously Saturday at Loftus Road against Sunderland is a normal audio for the UK, but available worldwide, whereas Swansea is midweek, so that allows us to stream it to UK platforms. So you can join Nick and Andy Sinton live on QPR Plus. So head to qpr.co.uk for more information on that. You always enjoy doing your commentary, don't you, Sinton?
It's a really important and really enjoyable, but I feel an important part, because some fans who can't get the games, that's the way they can stay connected. Certainly through the COVID period, I think was a little bit of a lifeline for many fans. I know it's changed since then, but no, love it. Nick's great to work with. We're very QPR. I wouldn't say biased, but we're doing it for us. No, actually, I'll rephrase that. We try and be. I think you have to be authentic about where, and we say what we see. But at the same time, we're QPR fans and we just want Gareth, the team, to put in good performances, get results, reward the fans for their brilliant, amazing support. Because we're all in this together, the team. But I think that's been a real connection in the last couple of weeks. The guys who were up at Middlesbrough, brilliant because of how far it is and the difficulties down at Southampton. But we have 3,000 down there, right behind the team. And we're going to need that all season. So guys, whether you watch the stream, whether you go to the games, home or away, thanks for your incredible support, because it has been fantastic.
I think that wraps it up perfectly. It's a busy week ahead. So Andy, bring it on.
Bring it on. Come on, you ours.
And come on, you ours.